Hello! Dali, parang di ko sure if I'm already live. Elia. So this is my first time to do this, guys. Kasi nga, I've mentioned in that it's my birthday. So ako yung may regalo. Sandali ha, let me just do some checking sa tech. If okay ba? Hopefully, I'm rinig. Hello, hello. I'll be doing a live brewing ngayon using a French press, no? And how can you use that for your small coffee business? So if you're here watching live, let me know in the comments. Comment kayo, guys. Or if you're watching this on a replay, also please do. And tell me where you are from. And it's been a long journey since nag YouTube tayo. Ngayon I'm at 1.5 subscribers. Thank you. Happy birthday. Yes. Thank you naman. Thank you sa greetings. So ako yung may regalo, magla-live brewing tayo. Actually, honestly, I've been setting up for like 30 minutes. And parang hindi ako sa tech stuffs because I really wanted to show to you also. Kasi hirap naman mag-brew ako I'll just raise the French press, no? So gumawa ako ng other cam. Yun, guys. Diba? Nag-effort talaga ako. But yeah, we'll do that later. I'll discuss muna. And then, let's wait na merong mga papasok pa sa live. Siguro next time, pag mag-live ako, siguro mag-games ako, no? Or magpapa-raffle, ano ba? Alright, sige. Let's start. Sandali. Nasaan ba yung slides? So, as mentioned, no? I'll be doing today a live brewing using the French press method. And how can you use that for a small coffee business? Hi, Erica, watching from Cavite. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining. So I'll be discussing yung French press. So ano nga ba yung French press na method? Actually, a French press is a tool and it's parang mother niya na way of brewing. It's actually more of the steeping method. Okay? But before that, let me discuss coffee brewing in simpler terms. So ano ba talaga yung coffee brewing or ano ba yung when we say nagbre-brew tayo ng kape? So it's a process of extracting coffee straight from the coffee beans. So there are a lot of different ways of brewing coffee. Merong through coffee maker, merong manual, meron ding through espresso machine. But basically, ang essence niya talaga is extracting the coffee straight from the coffee beans. I know there are instant coffee, no, there are pre-mixed coffee, but those are basically still from the beans, pero nilagyan siya ng mga additives, preservatives, para it's a lot easier sa iinom ng kape. They just simply have to put in hot water. Pero when you say coffee brewing really straight from the beans, when you do coffee extraction, dito pumapasok na we really do the grinding and then the brewing. So we need to have few of the brewing elements. So if you're planning to have your own small coffee business, I really suggest na you try to learn muna, no, the basics of coffee brewing so you'll understand paano yung kape nyo for the coffee shop. Because I think I shared in one videos, I'll put a link perhaps later in the description box, no? 5 things that I wish I knew and I wish we did when we opened 5 years ago. Sana we took time to really learn about coffee brewing. Kasi we did the shortcut way. Inasa namin lahat, no? With just one supplier. And it turned out na parang na, kami, without, parang yung sa kabayo, di ba? When they run or walk, parang naka-blindfold sila and there was just in one direction. So if and only if we expose ourselves, like 5 years ago, with coffee brewing muna, we learned really the basics of it. Then perhaps we knew what could be things that we can do para mas makasave kami sa cost namin. And eventually, we could have gained profit a lot faster. Diba? So again, if you would want to start your own small cafe, I really suggest that please do learn coffee brewing. So ano yung coffee brewing? The process of extracting coffee straight from the coffee beans. There are a lot of variations, pero basically, kapag direct from the beans, it's not the instant way. Kasi yung instant, merong additives and some preservatives. Alright, so coffee brewing. Now, As mentioned, there are tons of coffee brewing methods and all of them can create a great cup of coffee. But what I'll discuss in detail today would be more of the steeping method. And French press is under the steeping method. Maybe I'll have in another live brewing yung ibang mga brewing methods. Let me know in the comments if meron kayong specific na gustong brewing method that I'll do live brewing, and I'll do that also. Okay, so steeping method would be mixing coffee with water. May that be hot and cold to extract coffee from the beans. So parang steeping would be binababad mo yung coffee beans sa tubig, may that be hot or cold water, para you would slowly extract the caffeine and its flavor from the beans. And French press is under steeping method. Mokapat din po sana. Sure, sige, I'll consider also mokapat. A bit faster lang yung mokapat, a lot easier. So 2 variations with steeping method. That would be French press, cold brew in a pitcher or in a brew bag, coffee in tea bags, and then the siphon also with a vacuum process. But today, I'll discuss first and I'll show to you really how to brew the right way using French press. Ayan. So perhaps in another live naman yung iba. Okay? And yung difficulty with regards brewing using French press would be easy to average. It's a lot easier. You just have to remember the grind size, the ratio, and the time. And actually, yung French press, as what I've mentioned in my Facebook page, this is actually a staple in every Filipino kitchen. Siguro hindi lahat merong coffee maker, pero halos lahat alam ano itong French press. And this is very accessible sa mga groceries and even in department stores. So, we'll be using this one for today. So, easy na talaga siya to average. And you don't need a lot of money to be able to buy a French press. In fact, sa Daiso, merong mga 199, and all the other na yung mga maliliit lang, you can buy it at 100 or 200 pesos. Diba? So, every time we brew, I always discuss this to my students, may that be face-to-face or sa online. We always discuss 3 things, na that would be affected when we brew our cup of coffee. So that's grind size, the ratio, and the time of extraction. So when you say grind size, how fine or how coarse your grounds would be, na ika-grind mo. And then coffee-water ratio would be gaano ba kadaming kape or tubig yung imimix mo sa coffee. And then the brewing extraction or the brewing time or the extraction time, that would be the number of minutes, seconds, or hours that you will expose coffee to water. So every time you are introduced with a new brewing method, you just simply have to look on those 3. To my students, we call that the GRT method of brewing a good cup of coffee. Okay, so for French press, grind size, we need medium to medium coarse. And as what I always say sa mga estudyante ko, do not search for grind size number online, but what you should do is look at your grinder. So I'll be using a manual grinder kasi live brewing tayo talaga. So I'll be using my strength to grind the beans, and that would be medium to medium coarse. So when you say medium, that would be pinaka-middle na number ng grinder nyo. So in my grinder, this is until number 6. So 1 to 6, 1 is always fine. 6 is the coarse. So medium would be yung gitna. That's 3.5 or 3. And then you say medium coarse, anywhere from 4 to 5. So medium to coarse. So 3 to 6 is 4 or 5. Okay? So I'll be grinding it at number 4. Kasi gusto ko mas matapang na coffee. So the closer you are to 1, that's fine. And the closer you are to 1, that would be a lot stronger na coffee. So I'll grind it at number 4. Okay? Now, next would be coffee to water ratio. 1:15 or 1:16. Usually yung golden ratio with regards sa how many water you mix with coffee is 1:16. So yan yung usual natin. So what we'll do is I try to identify first muna how many grams or ml ba of coffee do we want. So let's say today I want to have 200 ml of coffee. And let's say you will be using 1:15. So, dali. Kuha tayo ng calculator dito sa Excel. 200 divide with 15. Sige daw. Help me in computing. So we will need a extract ng kape. Output is 200 grams of water or 200 ml of water. And then the ratio that we will choose is 1:15. So 200 divide with 15 is magkano? Kano ba? 200 divide with 15, mga 13 to 14 grams. Okay? So, meaning, ang ratio natin would be, if 1:15, let's try kung makikita ba itong comment ko. Comment section. Ayun, kita siya. So, I'm putting in the 1:15 sa comment section. If you will use that ratio, 1:15, tas ang gusto natin is 200 ml of water as output. Okay? So, all we have to do is divide 200 with 15. So, that would give us around 13 point something. Okay, 13.33 or what? So, let's just use 14 grams. So, is equal to 14 grams of coffee or beans. So, our combination would now be 14 grams of kape is to 200 ml or grams of water. Okay? If you're wondering, guys, na bakit grams or ml with regards to water, di ba ang water, it's liquid, we measure it through ml. Coffee is solid, we measure it grams. But when we brew, we basically weigh water. And we assume na 1 gram is equal to 1 ml for the water. But it's not always true na 1 gram is equal to 1 ml. Diba? Kasi we consider the density, churba. But yeah, but anyways, if we use 1:15, so our combination would be 14 grams of coffee and we'll brew it using 200 grams of water. So, to those who just joined, question, paano ba natin nakuha yung 200 ml? We simply identified gaano kadaming tubig or gaano kadaming kape ang gusto nating inumin. Okay, that's the first step. Once you have the ratio, you identify now your desired output. Okay, and then divide it with the ratio, then you would have now your, grams for your coffee. Okay? So, ito na yung sinasabi ko, guys, na nag-effort talaga ako. O, diba? Na makikita nyo ang aking ginagawa dito. So, let's try. Hide muna natin tong si French press na slides. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll get, ilan yun? 14 grams of coffee. Okay? So, 14 grams of coffee. So, when we brew using French press, we basically need a weighing scale, the French press, and then hot water. Hindi kailangan itong gustek kasi hindi naman talaga tayo parang yung magsu-circular motion. For French press kasi, we will mix naman. So, hindi kailangan itong fancy na gooseneck kettle. Perhaps we'll use this, no? Or I'll discuss more of this once we go to other brewing methods na gamit ito. But I'll use it now, but not necessarily ito for French press. Okay? So, I'll weigh. Dami ko sinasabi, no? Pero yeah. Kasi nagde-discuss tayo. I'll weigh around 14 grams. Okay? 7.4. Wait. Yeah, 14. Okay? And then, I will now put it sa ating manual grinder, which is this one. Okay? Again, I set it at number 4. I don't know, kita ba? Charot. Okay. Yeah. Okay, talagang dalawang camera ginamit. And then we'll put it here sa ating manual grinder. If you wanna know where I bought this, usual, Lazada and Shopee. And perhaps I'll put mamaya sa description box where you can buy this one. But one tip, when you buy grinders, a very huge tip when you buy grinders, and I also tell this to, I'll start now heating the water. And I also say this to my students na pag bumili kayo ng grinder, make sure na the grinder is burr type. Okay? Ano ba yung burr type? B-U-R-R? Burr type grinder. That would be a grinder na hindi blades yung ginagamit to grind the coffee beans. So it's basically like parang pinupush yung beans sa baba, no? And ginagrind siya slowly through pounding, or not really pounding, but parang pinipress siya or pressure para more or less equal yung grind, no? Hindi yung parang if you use kasi blades, better yet, use na lang a blender sa bahay, di ba? And you cannot control how fine or how coarse would that be. Ewan ko ba kung naririnig niyo yung thermos, but yeah, I'm starting to heat water already. Okay? So, pag sa negosyo, huwag kayo gumamit ng ganito ha, kasi it will take time. Just imagine na merong maraming customers falling in line and then ikaw, nagka-grind ka pa. But ito is just really for brewing here and really wanna see the brewing process. So I'm showing to you the grinder. Okay, manual grinder. So yung mga electric, a lot faster. Mga less than 10 seconds, tapos na, di ba, sa pag-grind. Sandali, effort mo na ako. Workout, yes. Workout talaga. Pero I have a student na ginawa niya, he really learned the manual brewing, no? Or the manual grind kasi meron siyang resort and ang gusto niyang gawin is sa resort naman niya would be DIY brewing. So, gagawin niya is when you order coffee, bibigyan ka ng grinder, bibigyan ka ng set and then the brewing tools, and then yung customer na mag-brew ng sarili niyang kape, pero there would be instructions. So I think that would be a good one also, di ba? Kasi people now pay for experience. And that would be, if nasa dagat ka, that would be nice to really be brewing, straight from the beans from scratch na manual. Di ba? So that's why inaral talaga na yung manual brewing. So we have a question from Erica. How much po yung electric grinder? There are a lot of varieties with electric grinder. One of the cheapest I have seen na electric burr grinder. You can check sa SNR or sa Landers. There's at I think 3,000 plus. Pero if you would see sa Lazada, just make sure lang. I'm not sure sa mga electric in Lazada, but yung mga for espresso machine a lot more expensive. But there are grinders online that you can buy as low as 1K or less than 1K na electric. Kaya lang, hindi masyadong ganun kadami yung pwede mong i-grind at one time. Okay? There's somebody watching from Negros. Hello, Shane. Thank you for joining me today sa aking first live brewing on my birthday. Diba? So ako yung may regalo. Thank you so much, guys. So I'm almost done. Mag-workout ako in this morning. So, di bali, Erica, I'll be putting in a link mamaya ha sa description box sa mga recommended na where you can buy the grinders. Okay? Ito ba tigas pa siya? Okay. So, you know, with this manual grinder, you know if it's done if parang, ano na siya, it's soft. But for now, it's still hard. Again ha, huwag gamitin sa negosyo ang ganito. Unless DIY brewing yung binibenta mo. Okay, so bigyan mo sila ng ganitong stuffs and sila na yung mag-brew. So let me check kung meron pa beans. Wala na. Okay, so ito na ang ating medium coarse na kape. Okay, and then what we'll do now is we will be using our French press. So itong French press na gamit ko, I just bought this sa grocery. Okay. Ganyan. So usually yung mga French press, meron silang ganitong, I don't know what you call this, parang filter, no? And then we simply push in the, what you call this, water, para we would now be getting in the coffee extract. So let me just start it with, every time you use any tool ha, please preheat or perhaps parang remove the parang any excess or parang painitin mo muna yung brewing tool. Okay, just to be sure. So I'll pour in some water, a little bit. Okay, so let's like preheating it. Okay? So, linisin lang natin. Kahit na hinugasan mo, still clean it. And we'll throw this away. Dito parte ng ating kinompute earlier. And then, if we try to go back to our GRT here, no, that would be brewing extraction time, 1 minute bloom. Okay, yung blooming time would be the moment na basa na lahat. You let it rest first. Basically, the carbon dioxide is being released and you let the coffee breathe muna before pouring in the rest of your water. So what I'll do later on, I'll pour in perhaps mga half of it, no? So 100 ml muna of water. And then I'll mix it and I'll wait for 1 minute. After 1 minute, I'll pour in the rest of the water. Okay? So that's for our time. So dapat 2.5 minutes daw. After 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds, i-press down ko na. So meaning I'll now separate coffee and water. Right. So what I'll do now is I'll be putting in now our grounds. Okay. Here. If napansin nyo guys, nilagay ko siya sa, let me just remove this para mas klaro. Nilagay ko siya sa ibabaw ng weighing scale because I'll be weighing naman the water, diba? So after that, I'll click there sa ating coffee scale, no? Much better talaga yung coffee scale kasi you can tear out, you can zero out, and also there's timer na included. If you don't have naman, you can use the kitchen scale you have at home, yung mga pang-weigh nyo ng mga baking ingredients, and then just use your phone as the timer. Okay? So I'll start now. What I'll do muna is, I'll be pouring in 100 grams. After that is I'll mix. Okay? And every time na mix mo na yung coffee with the water, timer starts. Okay? The moment na nag-meet yung coffee and water, extraction begins. And remember, in our GRT here, dapat ihiwalay natin si coffee and si water after 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, talagang magta-time tayo when we brew. Okay? Para hindi masyadong mapait ang ating kape. Perfect siya. Right? So, I'll start timer now. Okay? I'll pour in 100 grams. So, you might be asking, no, Faye, ano ba yung dapat na temperature ng water when we brew? So, for hot, we need at least 80 degrees Celsius to 95 degrees Celsius of water. So, pwede yung binoil mo and then you let it rest for maybe 1 minute, just like what we did, no? Para the temperature will go down by around 95 degrees or 90 degrees. Okay? So, there, 40 seconds in. Okay, so I'll wait for 1 minute. After 1 minute, dun ko ilalagay yung the whole 200 grams. Okay? Kasi yun yung ratio natin. So 5 minutes more. So now I'll continue until 200 grams. Okay, yeah. 200 grams na, and I'm at 1 minute and 17 seconds. So you might be asking, Faye, pwede ba na instead of 200 grams, gusto ko mas marami, gusto kong punuin? Pwede naman, pero you are now already with outside the ratio. Kasi nga, di ba, yung ratio natin is 1:60. So pag ganon, konti lang yung grams mo, tas you fill this out, baka hindi masyadong mataste yung kape mo. Ano ba yung lasaw sa Tagalog? Lasaw is in Bisaya. Ano ba yung Tagalog ng lasaw? So your coffee might be black, no? So parang wala siyang lasa pag gano'n. Yeah. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 2 minutes now here in. So I'll wait for 30 seconds more. Then after that, we will now transfer our coffee. Looking for a cup. 12 seconds left. There it is. Okay, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I will now separate coffee and water. And then I will now be pouring in. So we make sure na sa spout is tapat siya nung parang meron ding filter. Itong ganito, ng mga French press. Okay? Now, one thing lang talaga with French press na somewhat I don't like is no matter how we try to push it down, no, minsan talaga meron pa rin siyang granules for the French press. So, a hack to that, what you can do is as you pour in dito to your cup, maybe or perhaps you can use also a paper filter just to really make sure na walang ayun matabang. Matabang pala ang lasaw in Tagalog. Thank you guys. So if you try to see, meron siyang a bit of granules, diba? Just yun lang talaga for me is, or one of the things na parang cons for a French press is meron pa rin siyang granules. But there's a way to get away with that is before you pour in it to the cup talaga, is you can use a paper filter. So you can use a paper filter for the pour over or any other paper filter that you have. Or pwede din cheesecloth. And then also another disadvantage din for me for using ang tawag dito, French press. Guys, ang hirap niyang linisin after. 'Di ba? Kasi all the grounds are really stick na sa baba. So parang ang hirap niyang hugasan after compared sa pour over. But nonetheless, you can actually start with a French press for brewing. Good. I'm actually using a Benguet blend. Sarap. Next time, guys, pag nag-live brew ako, inom din kayo ng kape, ha? Para we can drink coffee together, okay? So, ito na yung sa French press. Okay? So, let me review, ha? Ano yung ginawa ko? Nag-grind ako ng kape, medium coarse. I used number 4 with my grinder kasi it's only 1:6. Yung ratio na pinili ko is 1:15 kasi gusto kong mas matapang. And then, I exposed coffee to water, 1 minute bloom, and then 2.5 minutes, sineparate ko na siya. One of the mistakes of using French press talaga is after we pour in water, no? Tapos pag-press natin ganon, is mga half lang yung transfer natin sa cup. The rest is we just let it sit there. So tendency is yun, mas magiging over-extracted na siya. So the best way really and what is recommended for French press, so you can really get the notes of it and the right flavor and the aroma, is separate coffee and water 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay? Question, how can you use this now for your small coffee business? So itong French press, no, this would now be actually, ang yield niya is good for Americano or a brewed coffee. So sa small na cafe nyo, if you would be serving brewed coffee, wala kayong, what you call this one, coffee maker, espresso machine, you can use the French press. So this is good now as Americano or brewed coffee. Ang Americano lang talaga in technicalities. That is actually espresso with water. Okay, ito lang is that would be brewed coffee. Then another would be, if ever ba, Faye, pwede ba siyang gamitin as flavored lattes? So, when you say kasi flavored latte sa mga cafe, di ba, we are actually using espresso, which is very strong. Ang ratio niya usually 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4. Ito, yung ratio niya less concentrated, 1:15. So if you will use French press as the base for your espresso or the flavored latte, no, yung sa espresso, 1 shot is 30 ml. While for this one, if you will use this as parang base, imimix mo siya ng mga different sauces, no, what you can do is instead of using 30 ml, you use 100 ml of French press na brew. So, again ha, ang usual sa espresso machines, if you use the machines, ang usual niya na espresso is 30 ml. Okay? Kasi, grabe yung ratio. 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, or 1:4. But kung French press, pwede naman. Pero we would want na andun yung taste and yung tapang ng kape, di ba? So our one shot for a, what do you call this one? French press would be 100 ml, more or less. And then that's the time now you mix your milk, then you mix your sauce, and then your syrup. Okay, so perhaps mix mo ng 100 ml French press brew, and then maybe 20 ml caramel sauce, and then 80 to 90 ml of milk. Then that would be your caramel latte using a French press. But then again, as what I always say, please tikman niyo po yung kape na ginawa based on that specific recipe. Kasi, again, coffee is a matter of preference, di ba? You cannot say that your coffee is better than another person's coffee or vice versa. Kasi depende talaga sa taste ng tao. And if you see recipes online, by all means, you may copy them, you may do it, but please taste it and use it, adjust it based on your preference. Kasi if you would just simply copy the recipe, it would be very difficult to sell something you're not convinced of. So what you do, if you see recipes, gawin mo, taste it, and if you're okay with it, then you can sell it. If not, adjust it based on your preference, yung confident ka nang ibenta siya. Okay, but what I'm saying is, sa live ngayon, since we are using French press, you can use this as base for your latte, kaso hindi siya masyadong matapang. Kasi nga, sa ratio niya, 1:15 lang or 1:16. So what you can do is instead of one shot na 30 ml for espresso, mas damihan natin yung ml for the espresso or the coffee. So make it around 90 to 100 ml. Okay? So I hope that's clear. I hope may natutunan kayo sa ating live ngayon, brewing. So I might be doing this, no, perhaps every week or every other week. Let me know in the comments for any requested na brewing method. And by the way, guys, I have a sale of my Small Coffee Business Academy. I've been saying this in my videos, no? Pero ngayon, nakasale siya kasi birthday ko yesterday. So it's been on sale 16, 17, 18. Today is the last day. So there's a special link that would be out by midnight today. So that's bit.ly/SCBA Faye birthday. Okay? Ito, mayroon tayong question. Pwede po ba kaya dark roast gamitin para mas lalong lumasa? Yes. For coffee shops or for making espresso, what's really recommended is medium to dark roasted coffee. And then if you prefer a coffee na mas matapang, go for dark roasted coffee. Okay, but the same thing as what I said, dapat mo din siyang i-adjust, no, based on your preference. And still, if French press, damihan natin yung quantity ng water if we will use that for flavored lattes. Okay? I hope that answered the question. Any other questions sa mga joining us live? Thank you so much for joining me. Next week ulit. Sana magka-time ako next week. And to those who are watching on a replay, thank you so much. Also, if you have questions, just feel free. Lahat ng mga comments you guys in my videos, I see them. No, and if I can answer the question, I actually reply to the questions. Ayan. Learn a lot. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Ngayon ko lang na-realize, bad pala mag-store ng brewed coffee, said it. Yes, very bad. Please don't, as much as possible, hiwalay yung coffee and water right after nung dedicated na extraction time. Okay? Kasi if you would expose it to water for a longer time, tendency is your coffee would be over-extracted. Okay? One of the basics of coffee brewing. Right, so thank you so much for joining me again. If you want to be part of my mentees and if you want me as your mentor for your small coffee business, our Small Coffee Business Academy is on sale until lang tonight, 11:59 p.m. But if you'll be joining after tonight, pwede naman, but it's at a higher price. So naka 2K discount tayo ngayon. Okay? Again, thank you so much for joining me. Nag-enjoy ako mag-brew. Thank you guys and nag-enjoy din kayo. Bye! I'll see you in my next videos and my next lives.